Hi, welcome to the Golden Sun No S&Q tutorial series. I'm really happy that you're joining us in this really cool speedrun, and hopefully you can learn a lot from the series. My name is Plexa, I am the Golden Sun guy. I have the record in every category at the moment, in particular this one. This category is really quite interesting. It's become the most popular category in all of Golden Sun speedrunning, and it's really an exciting time to be running this category. This category is the No S&Q category. What that means is it's the No Save and Quit category. That means once we start the game, we're never going to load a save file until the end of the run, which has a pretty huge implication for the speedrun. It basically means that there's no RNG manipulation. Classical Golden Sun speedrunning makes extensive use of RNG manipulation, and that makes the runs really technical, really fast, but really technical. People have really gravitated to this category because the lack of RNG manipulation makes it a lot more approachable to learn, while still retaining a ton of interest and interesting strategies and competitiveness and all kinds of good stuff that goes along with that. So this is by far and away the most popular category right now, and it was about time we had a tutorial series dedicated to it. The No Save and Quit speedrun is kind of characterized by basically someone rushing things to oblivion, but with a lot of interesting strategies kind of thrown in there in the mix. Some interesting boss fights, for instance. It's kind of notorious for one or two run killers thrown in there for good measure. I mean, the Kraken is somewhat infamous for that. But all in all, it's kind of a run full of lots of highs, lots of lows, and lots of interesting stuff in between that. In essence, the run has a ton of RNG in it, but that in itself makes the run kind of endearing and somewhat interesting. So if we take a quick look at the leaderboard, for instance, you can kind of see that there's quite a lot of activity here right now. The record was only set about 2 months ago from the time of recording. There were runs entered a few days ago. There are a few people actively running the category, and people are still very interested in it. So you can be assured that this is a category that people really are playing right now. I think that anybody who applies himself to this category can get a pretty decent time. I think anybody who applies himself can get a sub 4 time if they dedicate themselves to it, even if they don't think they're a particularly skilled speedrunner. I think that's largely because there's not a lot of stuff that you need to memorize. It's relatively accessible. I've said that a few times already, but yeah, I think it's something that people can give a go. If you're a fan of the Golden Sun series, then No Save and Quit speedrun is a real great starting point to get your feet wet in speedrunning, particular Golden Sun speedrunning, and potentially have that go elsewhere. I will warn you, there are some pretty high highs, as I've kind of alluded to already. Something like the Kraken fight, where you pretty much need to hit an 84% chance strategy to work. So every now and then, one in 6 of your runs will die to this guy right here, the Kraken. If you can hit that first sleep, then the Kraken's going to be great, but sometimes the Kraken misbehaves and, well, your run dies. But when you hit it, it's a great feeling. But at the same time, sometimes you're on a great pace run and then the Fusion Dragon is just going to end your existence. There are so many ways in which the game can screw you over at the end that you're going to be kept on your toes throughout the entire game. Viewers often find the run quite interesting from that perspective. Like the fact that Sadar Samanati and Fusion Dragon can end your run is pretty exciting stuff. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself here. What we really need to think about right now is how the rest of the series is going to break down. I've broken the game up into about 15 or 16 parts. Each part will deal with one self-contained section of the game, more or less, and we'll go through and walk through all of the things that are going through my head during the speedrun. I highly encourage you to consult the notes. The notes will be available in the description. They're available on speedrun.com. They're really quite good, especially the revised beginner versions. Don't expect a great deal of production value. That's not my jam, but I'm going to do my best to provide as much information as I reasonably can without trying to overload people. There is about 7 hours of video content here, but it is quite a long speedrun. It's about 4 hours in length, so it's not too bad. So hopefully it's really helpful. Let me know if you think it's helpful, if you think that I could do anything else. If there's something else you desperately want to know about Golden Sun but I haven't done it, let me know as well. But yeah, let's crack into it. we're going to get right into the beginning, starting from the introduction, file select, all that kind of fun stuff. So we'll cover the basics first. Make sure you watch the basics video. There's a ton of interesting information there. We'll go through some of the minutiae on how you go fast, how do you menu properly, how do encounters work, all that fun stuff. Then we'll crack into the start of the speedrun. Alright, well, we'll see you in the next one, and hopefully you enjoy.